Know my thoughts on this if you've watched any of my previous videos. Do you think what he is saying is true though? Do you think this is all about to happen as soon as they say? Are aliens really demons? My gut tells me they are not from space. That is one thing for sure. I think they cohabitate on this planet, be that in our dimension or another. Either way, I think they're here with us. I think the craft we see are ours. I think the things that don't look like machines are theirs. But again, these are just my thoughts. They're not facts. I want to hear what you think though, and I want you to share your theories below. Alright, that just about does it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the clips. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe for future content which I post every single day at 8 PM. And if you have not already done so, please join our Discord server where the conversation continues well after the video ends. But for now, stay well, stay safe, and stay curious. Until next time.